Hello and welcome to Chattergate Podcast, where we break down and review a TV series for a change. And we're actually going to continue on from last week, where we did Falcon and Winter Soldier. So it's technically part 2. So, you know, if you
Fucking Loki!
a bit too early, Al, a bit too early.
Oh, darn it.
If you haven't seen us talking about episode 1 and 2, and, you know, a very brief overview, go back there. And then come back here. And then come back here, and we'll carry on with episode 3. So we'll get straight into this, so it's not fucking like us just jabbering on for hours and hours. So episode 3 is titled Power Broker, because obviously it's introducing us to this other world, this more criminal aspect of the show.
The criminal underground.
And obviously,
that's above ground.
I do love the first like shot of Zemo in this. He just tries to use the reprogramming words on a Bucky again. He's like, yeah, don't work on me. And I just love how Zemo's like, oh, I know. This, I thought I'd try it anyway. This is literally why I love the MCU version of Zemo. He's just perfect, thanks to, obviously, the writing of the character. And he's portrayed by Daniel Bruhl, because he's really good. I loved him in Rush, and he's really good in this.
And also, he's a lot more like Baron Zemo in this.
Yeah.
You find that, he's a Baron. Yeah, he has the mask, and he's a bit more cutthroat than just what people thought he was a random normal person.
Exactly, because he's literally obviously in a Civil War. He's sort of like a soldier. That's it. That's all we know about him, which is why I like the next episode afterwards when we actually get to see him utilize that skills, because we never really got. It was more like mental aspect in a Civil War, whereas in this one he's more.
But he also has a random butler.
Come on, his butler's amazing.
Yeah, especially in the final
Yeah.
episode.
Which I'll get to in a bit. But I mean, can I just say as well, his coat, I want it.
Exquisite.
It looks really good. I really want that coat.
It makes him look like he's basically
exactly. Imagine like he does in this one. Imagine us rocking up to the club in that coat, man. It's like like he does in the episode.
I love how everyone had to like dress up for that episode except for him. He's like, I'll wear my normal clothes.
Yeah.
Is it like velvet? Look at me. I am fancy and rich.
Well, I think one of my favourite parts of the early bit of this episode is the bit when they're talking about Sam and Bucky are arguing. He's like, okay, here's a hypothetical scenario of what might happen in this prison. And he's like going through the scenario of like, this fight might break out. It gives someone like a chance to quickly slip out. And he's like going through all this stuff. And he's like, this is getting very, hypothetical. This is like sounding very real. What have you done? You see the shadow of Zemo is like, oh, for God's sake, you've got to go back to prison.
Like, you're breaking out? No, technically he broke himself out.
Exactly. I just love the fact that's like such a good way of showing the breakout. Is Bucky like saying, "Oh, I've got like a scenario here for you. What happens if this happened?" And it literally is what happened. I really like that.
It's very reminiscent of Shaun the Dead. When he was going through his plans.
Yeah.
Like, we go to Winchester and wait for all.
Get a cup of tea. Yeah, and he's like, get to Mum's, get a nice cup of tea. Yeah, that's sort of it's very much like that.
But
it's
like,
such
it
a good
fucking happened.
Yeah, it's so fucking well done. It's such a good fucking sequence. It's just how he goes through. It's like narrate. It's like fucking David Attenborough narrating this fucking breakout, and then next minute he's like, "Oh no, he did break out. I was just telling you how he broke out." Wait, how did he? Did you reckon Bucky? You reckon he was just waiting in the background? Do you reckon Bucky just told him to wait then afterwards? Like, okay, can you quickly tell me how you broke out so I can tell Sam like a fake scenario? Oh yeah, so this happened. But I mean, obviously, this was the episode we actually, as you say, we find out how rich Zemo really is, because obviously in Civil War we only really saw him as like this fatherly figure who's pissed off, whereas in this we see how rich he is. For the fact he's got a fucking plane, he's got a butler, and the whole plane scene that shows how funny Zemo really is. He was really serious in Civil War, but this is like where he's really comical, and it works. The bit when he's like, I think he's talking to his butler. He's like, oh, it's a bit warm. He's like, oh, it's fine. He goes, oh, I'll get some food. He goes, if he doesn't pass the smell test, give it to them. And it's just the fucking butler though. He's such make him look like this friendly old man. He's like really like invested with Zemo because he's like a family, like he's been with his family for years. And then there's a big reveal later on. It's like, yeah, he's not that as friendly. But I like the conversations when they bring up the book. a book he has of Steve's when they finally bring that back up, which has obviously got the names in of all the people it's crossing out. And Sam's like, "Oh, this song's in there. I can't remember the song, but this song's in there." And he's like, "Oh, what do you think of it?" He's like, "Oh, it was alright." He's like, "You didn't like it?" He goes, "I liked it." And fucking Zemo's like, "Oh, it's a masterpiece. It showcases like the African American culture." And Sam's like, "He's out of line, but he's not wrong."
Oh, God.
That's the thing, because I think obviously Bucky and Sam have got this. As we said last time, they've got this really good chemistry, and he throws Zemo into the mix, and these three have got such a good fucking working, like bantery back and forth chemistry with each other. It's so fucking good. That's the thing. Yeah, with something like this, you need them to all work and all bounce off each other really well, and they really do. And it's so fucking good.
Definitely, because like you know that he in his head he's planning like how to actually fully escape from them, but also working them in his own little ways. So I do like obviously use like little hints of it every now and then of him trying to like test them, and it's good.
Can I just say as well, the fucking production design in the city they go to,
Oh my God.
the lighting is so fucking good. I was like, wow, this looks really. You wouldn't think this is like a fucking the bad part of town. You would literally go, fuck me, this look. Wow.
It looked like King Kong and Godzilla were going to start fighting there.
Yeah. It's Mantrapore, isn't it, the place? Something like that.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And I like the bit when they're sort of like, okay, so Bucky, you need to pretend to be Winter Soldier again. I'm going to still be my normal guy. And then Sam, you're going to be a smiling tiger. Oh, okay. And there's that whole bit with the drink. And he's like, cuts some up and puts it in the drink. And he's like, oh,
I think it was a snake, wasn't it?
That's fine.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's your favourite. And he's like, nice.
Good.
They're like, okay. I mean, the fight when you obviously get to because obviously they got to sort of play the scene, so Bucky has to beat the crap out of everyone. It's such a good bit because obviously Sam's trying to get involved, and Zemo's like, "No, if you get involved, we're all dead." And it's a good way of like showing how like Bucky can like still pull off this Winter Soldier facade, essentially like stone face. It's a good way of like showing that he can still pretend to be bad.
It's bad to the bone.
No. I mean, this sequence overall is just a really good sequence. Obviously, we get like, a little bit of info as well on our other villain, our secret power broker villain.
Yeah.
And obviously, it follows on from the little nod from last episode, so it's a nice like little touch to bring it back up. Because obviously, I think they bring it up each episode until the big reveal officially at the end of the last episode. Which there's some theories about that. I will say I'll get to that though. We'll get to that one. But yeah, I got a reference here in my notes actually. Obviously after obviously when they're discussing with that the woman about obviously what they're going to do, and obviously Zemo's offering Bucky up as a payment and whatnot, and they're like, oh okay, and then the whole fucking scene with Sam when his sister phones and he's like, what are you talking about? Don't use that tone of voice with me. Sarah, what are you talking about? I'm gonna kill the banker. I love that whole. I just love that whole sequence. We should just say. Thing is, if that was any smart person, you'd look at his phone and go, "It's my sister." I use a different name with her. That would have made like so much more sense than just like going, "Okay, what are you talking about?" I'm gonna kill the banker. Yeah. Okay, bye.
It's like, Sam, what do you do? Who's Sam?
It still is a funny scene. Obviously, it leads to a bounty because obviously she gets shot in the head by. I'm assuming it's Sharon.
Yeah, it said it's Sharon.
No, new name's Karen.
Karen. But I mean,
Karen.
the scene when they get the bounty on them and they're running through the fucking street at full speed, and obviously Zemo fucking runs off instantly. It sort of reminds me of John Wick 2 and 3 when John gets the bounty on his head. And everyone's like staring at him as he's running away. Very much reminded me of that. And everyone's got the phone call like bounty on there. It fucking reminded me of that, especially the dark streets. And I was like, I'm getting like a real John Wick vibe here, very much. But unlike that, they actually meet Sharon in this because the first time I actually get to see her since Civil War. I think that was the last time we saw her, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I do like how even though like Cap and Sam and I think Nat was on they're on the run. They came back pretty well. Apart from Nat, they all kind of came back to have a happier life.
Yeah,
Whereas she was struggling for all those years.
exactly. Kind of
Mm.
sad. Kind of sad for her.
Even when the snap happened, she probably was still stuck in there. I don't think she actually mentioned if she got snapped or not, did she?
I don't think she did, no.
I think it's inferred that she didn't, and that's where she got all this
Yeah.
art from and stuff.
Yeah, because obviously, when they're actually discussing with her in her room, obviously they're obviously reminding you of why she's there, because she's obviously what she did in the Shield and Wings,
Yeah,
and she's obviously what she's been up to and everything. But it's never actually explained, obviously, she got blipped or not, I don't think.
mm.
I don't think it did. But I did like the fact that, just like Sam, she bullies Bucky. when he's sitting down and she's taking the piss out of him. Everyone just bullies Bucky.
Poor Bucky.
Poor Bucky, yeah. I mean, obviously you have all this, obviously we're now coming up to our actual action part of the episode. And I like the fact it starts off with Sharon being the one that's action focused. When she's beating the living crap out of all those bad guys. And she's using the fucking sticks. Because obviously we haven't really seen her fight anyone other than Bucky in Civil War. That was it. That's the only time we've really seen her fight. Because in Winter Soldier, she was more just pointing the gun at people and all that. That was it. Whereas this is obviously her first full-on fight sequence, and she just kicks ass.
He's basically a lot like reminiscent of Peggy. Because the first Captain America, she didn't really beat up people much. She punched one soldier and shot someone.
But then Agent Carter, she actually...
Yeah, in more fucking ninja style, fighting everything. And he's quite reminiscent to that.
Exactly, and obviously it's very well intercut between obviously them doing the interrogation, that Dr. Geezer, and they're like, oh, when they're trying to find out how he did the serum and whatnot. And obviously you actually get the explanation of everything, so it actually does give us information, a lot of information of what Carly did, the fact she stole from the power broker, that's why he's pissed off, yada yada. I like that as well, they constantly keep saying he. They keep throwing you off oh, it's a he, because obviously she doesn't want her identity revealed, so it's very well done that it's constantly hinted, oh, it's a bloke, it's a bloke, it's a bloke. Reality it's not, but... And I just love the fact as well, Zemo shows why he's still Baron Zemo when he kills a guy. It still shows that he's a bad guy at the end of the day. He may be doing this stupid stuff in the club when he's, you know, if we talk about the Zemo cut. But it's obviously the sort of first time it's really been reminds you of, yeah, this guy's the reason the Avengers broke up. He literally tried to kill everyone and then tried to kill himself. If it wasn't for Black Panther, he'd be dead. So it's a quick reminder of who he really is.
Definitely. And obviously, with how they obviously have it they make it feel like, oh, the Power Breaker knows that he's been killed. And, how the fuck did he know that? And did he find the body or something? Because the whole place went boom. And then it's never you think, what the fuck happened? Then it's revealed how the Power Breaker knew. It's a good bit of mystery there. I like it. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I agree.
Alex turns to James. Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
it's interesting, how the power broker is introduced slightly, silently,
subtly, without you knowing, right under your nose, like cocaine. Yeah. I can see it right there, Alex. Gotta wipe it away quick. Good lad.
That's why it's quiet the whole time.
He's been snorting. I think one of my favourite parts of this episode is obviously the Sam, Bucky and Sharon, Zemo's fucked off and left them, and they're getting attacked by all the bad guys. They're getting shot down. They have to try and shoot their way out. And they're like, yeah, we're losing this fight. And then Zemo, that shot when he's just walking, you just see his legs, he's panning up, and he puts his fucking mask on for the first time ever. And and he just zooms in, he just shoots that fucking explosion. Then obviously it shows his fighting skills, and he fucking just hops down, just beats the living crap out of everyone. I think my favourite shot is got to be the fire shot, when it's all the fire's simmering and everything, it's all getting blurry, and you just see him behind the fire. That shot was really fucking good.
They hinted him wearing the mask, obviously, when he found it in like one of his cars. He's got a massive car collection, like someone from GTA.
Like me in GTA.
Yeah, pretty much. And I liked how like they hinted it, and then they actually fully paid off of it, and it was good because like this is Baron fucking Zemo.
Exactly, it's the Baron we know from the comics. Just vet the sword. But I did love as well the callback to Civil War again with the car scene. And he's in the car and fucking Sam's in the back this time. It's like, you're not going to pull the seat forward, are you? Nope. Cheeky revenge from Bucky, finally. And obviously, and you get the little subtle hint of something's going on with Sharon when she's like, when she talks to that woman, she's like, we need to do do this now. And then she gets in the car, you're like, okay. Okay.
Maybe she's still working for like some kind of like shield up like a like for them like division of shield or something.
Exactly.
What's going on maybe?
And obviously this episode is the first time we actually get to see the Flag Smashers actually kill someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we find out then he killed like 3, I think it was in the end. I think they're like 11 injured and 3 dead, something like that. But it's nice to see. Obviously, they're actually finally crossing the line. I do like the fact the second in command's like, whoa, there are people in there. I did like to see this like inner war between this group. Like, some are agreeing, some aren't.
And in her messed up head, like this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
It's like the only language they understand. And, like,
Exactly.
to her, it makes sense. To them, it's like, what? They're not as like damaged as she is.
Exactly. It's like obviously after all this as well. I love that so far. All 3 episodes have ended sort of with a big sort of either like ended or had a cameo within the episodes. Because this one ends with Ao's return from Civil War. Obviously, Black Panther's guard, and it's obviously the bit when he finds the Black Panther type ball thing, and he's like, "Wait, what?" And then he finds it, and he's like, "You drop this," and she's like, "Give me Baron Zemo," and he's like.
Like fucking every single fucking person that was introduced in Civil War.
Yeah, basically coming back. But I think, overall, I think obviously it's another solid episode, and I think so far at the 3, I feel like it is the best one. At the 3 so far, because obviously you won't get Zemo and Sharon's return, and obviously Zemo just gets to shine fucking massively in this episode. So
yeah, it's more of a Zemo.
Yeah. From the actions to the comedy, it's great thanks to Zemo, so thumbs up.
Yeah, get a Zemo thumbs up.
He gets a Zemo dance number.
If you do not put that in, I'm going to be so sad.
What?
Well, we have to know.
Yep.
You getting it? I'm doing it for you. Saves the copyright strikes.
Just invert it, you know.
Put my face over Zemo's.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously episode 4, because we're past the halfway point now, is the whole world is watching, because there's a certain scene at the end which the whole world is watching, and obviously I do like Bucky finally gets the intro this time, and it focuses on him in his time in Wakanda. So obviously we never really got to know what happened to him there, really. We just know that they called him White Wolf, and
he can be happy.
Yeah, basically we never really knew much about it. So it's nice to actually see what happened there, for the fact that they were there trying to help get with this programming, which explains why he couldn't be programmed by Zemo. So it's very a sort of way of saying, okay, this is why. And obviously this is, I'm assuming, set between Civil War and he's seen in Black Panther more than likely.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, it's just a really good sequence. The fact, that's the one thing I like the Marvel show so far, because I've seen WandaVision, we got to see Elizabeth Olsen's like heart poured into a scene when she's crying and whatnot. And we actually get to see Bucky fully like going emotional with this scene when the control key doesn't work. He's just like really happy and I think he's crying and whatnot. And even obviously Ayo's like, "You're ready." I like the fact that he's against it at first. Like, "I don't think I can do this. Wife a turn and whatnot." And she's like, "You got this." And she reads it. He's like, "I did it, Mom." But it's also a really good way of bringing back Wakanda for the first time.
Yeah.
Because obviously we probably won't see that now until Black Panther Wakanda Forever comes out next year.
Mm.
So it's a nice way of bringing that back. So kudos there. And obviously, make sure it's next. Obviously, as I said, this is where we actually learn now the damage that Carly caused. Last time we learned the deaths and whatnot, and obviously that they use this as a way to stop Zemo and Samar, for Zemo, brutally murdering that guy. That's a good way of breaking that off. But I like as well this scene we get to see Zemo's secret weapon, Turkish delights.
Turkish delight.
He's got a very good weapon, and I do like as well. The next sequence we get to see reminder of the manipulation Zemo can do. When the fact that this man, you can't really trust him. He's helping you, but you can't trust him.
No,
the fact that obviously though Sam and Bucky are struggling to get information, he gets information from offering Turkish delights to kids. And there's something really creepy about him singing "Bar Bar Black Sheep."
Yeah, it gives off basically it gives off nonce vibes in a way. It's like he's singing that creepily version while walking up to a bunch of kids, and you're like, what the fuck is he gonna do?
Kill them.
That's probably one thing that goes through people's mind. Maybe he's gonna kill them all.
I thought he was gonna turn to fucking Anakin and start
younglings them.
Oh god! But it's obviously it's quite a clever way of doing it. They're all trying to approach all the adults really, because they go, the kids aren't gonna know. Whereas he's knows the way these people work, and it's get the kids on the side and make them feel like I'm one of you. So I think he goes by saying that them two can't trust them.
Exactly. It's like those guys.
Did that actually lead to anything later on though?
Well, yeah, it brought them to Carly.
Yeah, it was just telling the bad guys just don't interact with them essentially. But if they ask you anything, ignore them. That's all it was mainly about.
So that they rely on him to get the information.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the bit as well, which is one of the next bits, which is to do the flag smashes, where Carly's talking to that bloke, one of her other soldiers, and there's a sort of foreshadowing of how the episode's going to end. When he's like, "Oh, I grew up loving Captain America." Funny, that turns out. When it's like, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to outlive the legacy of that shield." Funny, that turns out.
That is genius.
I did like as well it's not a massive scene, but it's when he gives that kid some money, Zemo. When he gets information, he's like, "This is for your family." Though obviously he's just straight up using her for the information, it still shows that he was a father at one point. He's still got that family aspect within him. So it's like it's a two-sided coin. He's straight up using it to get information and whatnot, but at the same time, he feels sorry. Good bit of character development and reminder that he had a family once.
Yeah, he does, and it's a clever way of doing it.
Exactly.
He's still a bit messed in the head, but he's got priorities.
Exactly.
He knows that these people are obviously suffering, and wants obviously, to them, this bit of money would probably be life changing.
Exactly. And I do very much like the conversation between Sam and Carly when they go to the funeral, and he tries to talk her down, and he tries the emotional route of it. He's like, "Okay, you're doing right, but at the same time you're doing it the wrong way." And there's that whole scene when she says something, and he's like, "Oh, it's that, is it?" She's like, "Oh, you made me say that. I didn't mean it like that." And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I don't care how many I kill and whatnot." He's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh, no, you're putting words in my mouth." And it's obviously this really good, obviously, conversation between them, because at the end of the day, he's trying to get to the villain through his heart. Something that Steve would probably try and do, like he did with Bucky and Winter Soldier. He tries to go through his heart, like, "You know me, please just don't do this." He's trying to go that route of it, and it's a really good way of giving Sam more proof that he is Captain America.
And he would have got away with it too if it wasn't for that pesky Walker.
John Walker, because obviously he comes in, doesn't he? Because I like the bit when it's like he's slowly showing his sort of going crazy here when he's sort of going, I'm going in there, and Bucky's like, yeah, no, you're not. But obviously, I do like the fact as well. He gets into Bucky's head when he's like, your partner's gonna get killed, and Bucky deep down is like, shit, okay, fuck it, we're gonna do it. And I did have this sort of ways off of Zemo just to run away, and then just like try and kill her, because again, Zemo hates super soldiers for the fact that he crushes all the vials of super soldier serum. Or does he? Because John picks one up.
Yeah, of course. But I do like that, like the way he was trying to talk her down, because it's a massive callback to how we were first meeting in Winter Soldier, because that's what he does. He basically is like a grief counselor for veterans and stuff. Because obviously, another callback in Endgame, that's what Cap was doing.
Yeah.
Pretty much what Sam was doing. And so he's like, he has history with this. So he knows how to basically talk her down and to get under, to basically go into her level and understand both ways. And it is a very good way of doing it. And I like how it's a good way of showing how he's perfect to be Captain America, whereas Walker isn't. Walker's
he's just a soldier, essentially.
Yeah, which is obviously the whole point of that. That he's basically like Cap before he was on the ice. It's like, he wants to. He's still. He's in this war.
Yeah.
Like he sees it as a war. You got to kill the bad guys, like the first Cap did. But then when Cap woke up in New York and realized the war's over, that Cap grows more and becomes the Cap that can wield Mjolnir.
Exactly.
Whereas, and that Sam is like that Cap, the one who knows we don't trade lives. Whereas this one's more like, I've got to take her in. I'm going to take her in. Doesn't matter how we do it. The main goal there. Yeah. Because they make a big
care about like killing anyone else.
Make a whole big scene of him, like say the show off. He's like the great soldier who got awards for being a soldier. Whereas Sam, he did a lot of like some military background, but he's also an Avenger. He knows like there's more to being a hero than completing the mission.
Well, it's also down to like the Sokovia, what is it? Sokovia thing.
Sokovia, yeah.
I thought it was Accords, but I was like, nah, it's like an accordion.
No.
It's not that.
It's Sokovia accordion. Are you fucking Rosie and Jim?
Yeah.
That's the One Division theme.
But yeah, there's that. So like, they can't. But that's a massive reason, like, to why I was just like, yeah, he's not going to last as Captain America, killing people. Like, Wanda did that, and she didn't even mean to, and then they had these Sokovia Accords.
Exactly.
And then he's doing it while he's actually meaning to, because he's a complete dickhead, and who shouldn't actually get anything, but no. That's what they want you to think, anyway, but yeah. It's, yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It's yeah.
That's the best way to explain it.
It's yeah. I think one of the funniest moments of the episode has got to be the El Chapo scene. When Zemo fucks off and they're like, man, he El Chapo'd us. When they're fucking Dora Milaje and Ayo turn up and trying to get Zemo and they're fucking fighting Walker. Which obviously is a good way of like sending Walker down that road of like, they're not even super soldiers. I got my ass kicked by essentially 3 women. Well, 3, 2?
3.
Thought so. But,
Wakandans, they're fucking OP.
They're very OP. But I do like the start of the fight when obviously John's like fighting at him. Fucking Sam's like, we should get in there. And Bucky's like, you're doing great, John. He's just standing back. It's like, you're doing great, well done. But obviously I do like the fact that obviously it still showcases. Obviously he hates John. Deep down he's still the hero. He's still a hero, Bucky is, for the fact that he gets involved and stops them from killing him. And he's like, come on, we need to start this. And obviously there's that bit, obviously, when she fucks his arm up, and his arm falls off, he's like, what the fuck?
Obviously, he feels betrayed, because obviously she helped him. So he's the whole, like, he sees her as, like, a friend.
Yeah.
And
but deep down, they still didn't 100% trust him. At the end of the day, he's an outsider killer. Though they helped him get away from the killer aspect, who knows, it could be still in there somewhere. So they always made that contingency if it happened, which
Yeah.
is his arm falling off, which has now become like a massive a meme of fucking Buzz Lightyear without his arm.
What?
Remember Toy Story and Buzz Lightyear doesn't have his arm? He's dressed as a maid. There's like a whole joke now. The fucking people keep putting like images of fucking Buzz Lightyear's arm instead of the Bucky arm. The scene when he opens the crate in Infinity War, it's Buzz Lightyear's arm in there. I still find it funny that fucking Zemo just straight up locks himself in the bathroom and fucks it off in the fucking sewers. Also, why is there a massive fucking sewer hole in the fucking hotel?
Which is it like? Maybe like he planned to have that or something. Maybe like he
More
knew
likely.
this one would have it.
Maybe. It is Zemo.
Mm.
I mean,
I think it'd be more funny if he like grabbed a handful of Turkish delights before going.
yeah. But later.
You never know when you need a Turkish delight.
But obviously, there's the next sort of major bit is obviously the build up to the ending with the whole Lamar getting captured. They're having to fight for the flag smashes and whatnot. We get to see again more of a different fight styles. So obviously, John using the shield, Sam using his thrusters to actually help fight because he's blasting him in the face with the thruster, and then Bucky showing off his knife skills while not stabbing him, which I might add, which shows how much he's changed. Old Bucky might have just stabbed, but this one's like even like throws a knife next to the face and just doesn't kill him. It shows that he's still. He's changed. He's not the same Bucky as he used to be.
Yeah.
And he used to know.
He did a whole like thing of people sort of wondering which one it is going to become Cap.
Exactly. And obviously there's a whole shock death then when Lamar gets fucking punched in the chest by Carly and he dies.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, so that guy's dead. And obviously that sends John over the edge to the extent that he chases the guy down that loved Captain America growing up. And that guy then has to ironically get murdered by Captain America. With the whole world watching. But I fucking this is probably like my favourite ending of an episode for the scene. It's just for the fact that the whole episode built up this unhingedness more in John with how he was reacting to, oh, I've got to get in there, I've got to help, I've got to stop her, I've got to do this and that, and it was slowly building up. And then you add the serum to the mix, and he's fucking lost it even more. When obviously Lamar dies, that he's like, I don't care if I'm Captain America. Well, I'm just gonna kill this guy with my fucking shield. The symbol of hope is now covered in blood.
Yeah.
And there was
that just shows that hope is dead.
I love that there's two scenes as well where like if Bucky and Sam are talking and Bucky goes like, would you ever have had the serum? And Zemo. Would you serum? And he's like, no hesitation. And then you go back to
Lamar and John, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I would have took it all the way."
Definitely, like straight away, yeah. Because obviously, it makes you more of who you are, and if you're a good person, make you more of a good person.
Yeah,
and it's like it shows the naiveness of like they see, power makes you better, whereas Sam knows like just because it makes you like stronger doesn't mean it makes you better.
Exactly.
They've all got the serum. They aren't doing good, are they?
Exactly. It's just a great brutal cliffhanger to end on, and it's just a chef's kiss over the fucking fact that guy was like, "Oh, I love Captain America growing up," and then dies by someone wielding the Cap shield. Just chef's kiss. But I mean, for me, obviously, this whole episode changed everything for the show, and in a great way.
Yeah.
And just like WandaVision, episode 4 was the one that upped to the max the quality, and obviously from there it just went even better. And I just think it's a great start to obviously the flowing into the next episode. So I think 2 thumbs up for me. This one is.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's like the moment when John Walker goes from basically being the anti-version of Captain America, and you've got Sam. Like it's like the start of his path, becoming the new Captain America.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's very well done.
It gets a thumbs up and a fist for me.
In where though?
Bend over.
No.
Splits her into fucking Ryu fucking uppercuts. Okay. Obviously, episode 5 is titled "Truth," and
They're not very creative with the names, are they?
the last one was really creative.
It's a whole like truth, justice, in the American way.
Yeah.
I would have been really been a bit of a mouthful of a title, but it would have worked.
To play on that.
Yeah. I think for me, this opening is probably one of the best in this. It's probably the best in the series because it's just such a satisfying opening. So obviously, because we ended on a cliffhanger, and to have a satisfying conclusion to said cliffhanger is so good. So obviously, the first bit fully focused on Walker, and obviously he's going through his mind. He's saying why he's like going crazy and everything. Like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? He's like, you should have listened to me. He's just going crazy, seeing the flashes of Lamar and everything, and he's just losing the mind. And then you have the whole Sam and Bucky team up when they're just beating the living shit out of him.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it's just,
I'd love to have like had a kick or something.
It's just such a good fucking fight. Obviously, it's even though there's 2v1, because obviously Walker's juiced up, he's actually handling them and everything. And it's the bit when he's I think he's when he's choking Sam out, and he's like, "Why are you making me do this?" And it's even that bit when he's like, "I am Captain America," and he's like, he's just going fucking crazy. And it's the extent he even rips Sam's wings off, which obviously is there to set up the next sort of act. But I mean, it shows how strong this guy is now. But I do love the team up aspect between Sam and Bucky when they fucking break his arms to get the fucking shield. Because it's the aspect of they will go to any length to get this back now. This guy's lost it. He can't be the symbol of just hope and justice. We have to get it back. And obviously they fucking snap his arm completely. He's like,
he's basically like corrupted that like image of their best friend.
Yeah,
he's ruined the what he created.
Yeah,
his reputation as Captain America had been ruined by this dumped up soldier.
Yeah, and I love the bit when fucking Bucky lifts him, like hoists him up in the air, and fucking Sam just boosters into the air and just fucking clotheslines him in the air. They fucking all go flying everywhere.
I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, and then Sam just Bucky just picks up the shield and just drops it on Sam and just walks off.
The choreography is pretty good.
Yeah, it's probably one of it probably is my favourite fight of the series.
Oh, Hayden's gone again.
Because of just the whole, it showcases their chemistry even more. Because if you look at all the other fight scenes, they were sort of teaming up. They weren't really a team. They weren't really unified essentially. But this is where they became this team. So
yeah,
chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's a little setup after this where Sam gives his wings to Torres, which is obviously setting up him getting the Falcon's alter ego, which I'm assuming more than likely is either going to be in the fourth Cap film or like another film down the line or series.
Who knows? There might be a Falcon movie or show.
Just about him.
Yeah.
Who knows? I reckon they'll stick him with Sam though, because Sam will train him. I reckon.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Obviously.
But I like the court scene as well when Walker's in court, and just because how deludedly full he is. Because obviously they instantly throw him under the bus. This guy that they were like, oh, he's our like idol now. He's our like symbol of hope and justice. Yeah, we don't want him anymore. He's not ours. We don't know who this guy is. Obviously they instantly throw him under the bus, and obviously the delusion
from his rank and everything.
No money, whatnot. And as I said, there's just delusion of the fact that he still thinks he's after what he's done, he's Captain America. Captain America would never murder someone in cold blood. Especially the fact that he's like, oh, this guy killed Lamar. And he's like, he didn't kill Lamar. You know he didn't. You know Carly killed Lamar. This guy did nothing at all to kill him. So it's just that delusion in his mind that he's like beyond salvation. Though he does do a bit of salvation in the next episode, he's beyond the salvation that he can't be Captain America anymore. And obviously there's the little cameo as well from the MCU's Madame Hydra. Which obviously setting up more to come later on. So obviously she's going to be a big part of stuff later on, which is a nice little cameo appearance from a big name actress. What else I forgot here? The bit of Zemo when he's in Sokovia and he's at the fucking memorial and he's just staring at obviously what is lost.
Yeah.
And Bucky like appears and he's just like, yeah. He's like, okay, yeah. This I did love as well as Zemo is like, okay, this girl is radicalized beyond salvation, and Sam won't listen to me. He won't deal with her the way you need to deal with her, i.e., kill. But he's like, you were programmed to murder. You need to do this. And I just like the book is like, yeah, no. And he points the gun at Zemo, and Zemo's like, yeah, okay, I'm done. Bye bye. And there's that whole bit, and the book is like, click. And that scene when you just like, let's see the bullets just dripping from his hands was such a good fucking cinematic shot. And the fact that obviously when the AO and the Wakandans turn up to fucking arrest Zemo, I do like Zemo's like, okay, I've got no grudges, but you know, we're cool. We're cool. And that little subtle nod between each of us, like, we're cool. We're parting ways for probably not the last time, but we're cool for now. Until we start killing each other again. Obviously, there's the little cheeky favour as well Bucky asked for, which we'll see next time. Because there's a little cheeky favour, isn't there? Obviously, then we get our first official conversation between Sam and Isaiah, where obviously we finally learn what happened to Isaiah in the past and whatnot, and we get it's again well acted by Carl Lumbly. Obviously, the whole speech of they will never let or accept a black man be Captain America, and even if they did, no self-respecting black man would actually want to be it, because obviously, though it's like a symbol of hope, it's like it's also a symbol of essentially racism and shit, because you're not blonde hair, blue eyes, Aryan race basically. So they'd never accept it, and you should never accept wanting to be it.
No.
It's a good,
but I think it's good that Sam does it because it's actually changing the perspective of it in the future.
But I like the fact he doesn't straight away. I like the fact he listens to his words straight away. I like he lets it sink into his mind. Like, okay, I'm kind of agreeing with you. No, I like it sinks in first, and it sat there for a while before it actually is like, yeah, don't listen to this guy. You do what you think is best.
Yeah,
you be the man you are destined to be. Nice little word there. But yeah, I did like it stuck there in the back of his head. And I think one of my favourite parts of this is more the comic on this, when Bucky comes to help Sam. When Sam's this is the crate on the back of the car, and Sam's like, "How are we gonna get this off?" And then Bucky's just like, "Yeet." And
it was nice to see like a bit of like how far it's got. Like, no, sorry, that's me getting two conversations mixed up. It's nice to see like the family and all like that,
and even Bucky interacting.
Yeah,
the fact he hits on Sarah, doesn't he? He's like, "Hey," because you know Bucky and Sarah shipping it. Can I call it sucky? Bucky and Sarah merged together.
Damn, you ship it.
It's okay, I ship it. I just love the fact when he first, obviously when he's the fucking the boat starts breaking a bit, and he comes in and helps him like fix it. He's like, "Why didn't you use the metal arm?" He goes, "Well, I didn't think about it really. I'm right-handed." The fucking chemistry between
right-handed in more ways than
the
one.
chemistry between these two is so fucking good.
Yeah, I do find the chemistry good. Like,
it's like Wanda and sort of Vision level of chemistry. Like they've got the emotional chemistry where these have got the back and forth.
Yeah, you can tell like the difference. Like, you can tell that Wanda and Vision are meant to be husband and wife,
whereas these are meant to be like sort of
friends-ish.
acquaintances.
Yeah,
but
like
but secretly they're best friends.
Me and you, yeah.
Essentially, yes.
When we're actually recording something properly.
And obviously, there's this little...
which you can find on my
Get that little subtle hint in there, yeah. Like, there's like the subtle hint of Sharon being the power broker. Because there's a little subtle hint in this episode.
What's that?
Yeah, she's on the phone to Backdrop, and she's like, "I need you to do a favour for me." And he's like, "Oh, you hear is yes, oui, what? Something in French.
Je suis le français.
Like, I need you to do a favour for me." So obviously, it's a little hint there that she is some big power, which you get obviously later next episode. But obviously the whole conversation as well when Sam and Bucky are throwing the shield against the fucking trees with the whole fucking. There's the mat the oh what do you call them? Like the bounce pad sort of thing attached to the trees, like they start using boxing, like you know what I want to bet, don't you?
Yeah.
And they keep bouncing the shield off them, and it keeps coming back, and they keep catching it and this conversation. I just can't think what the fucking.
Yeah. It's like a guard, isn't it? Like
yeah, it's a bit like obviously they have when they're doing like karate on the floor. They have mats on the floor, like crash mat sort of situation. It's sort of like a crash mat, but a mini one. I do like the conversation, obviously, where Sam's actually being the sort of this. He's literally proving more. He's Captain America when he's giving the talk to Bucky. He's like, even if it takes you a long time, just don't basically go for your book trying to say sorry because all you're doing is avenging. You don't do that. Do it properly. So it's literally showing that he's literally Captain America. He's built for this. And obviously the humour between them when there's arguing constantly, which is good. And then obviously that bit when they part ways as well. They're like, oh, we're friends. So he's like, well, we're more like co-workers, acquaintances. We're just two guys that have a mutual friend who's now gone. So we're just two guys. Exactly. I'm okay with that. And there's that whole I love the shot of them and then walk away. And you got the zoom. You got obviously focus on Sam walking. And it's like, in the background you see Bucky walking away. Such a good shot. And
yeah,
I love the fact as well because it makes sense with the whole family aspect of the show that Sarah's the one that snapped Sam back into reality. She's the one that's like, ignore Isaiah. You're gonna let that guy get in your head. Don't. I do love that. And then Sam has his little Rocky montage when he's fucking training, running through the fucking forest, throwing the shield, pissing off his nephews. You know, yada yada, as you do basically. I love that she's the one that snaps him back. It's like, you do it. You do what you do. And obviously, then, you know, we get the little backdrop back, baby. Backdrop returns.
Yes.
And obviously, you're fully invested in Hayden, what she's up to, aren't you?
No.
Because she's currently talking to someone.
Yep.
She thumbs up. As a thumbs up for this episode.
You're my main like storyline of the show. It's like I watched it when it was coming.
Yeah, I binge watched it yesterday. So these are all the stuff that I like. I've jotted down every bit of information I like, which is why I got like 11 pages of notes.
Yeah, that's why I'm like not saying much because I'm just like I can't remember anything that was going on. Like I remember stuff that happens when it's said. But that's about it. Yeah,
obviously the episode sort of ends with a council meeting when they're all discussing, obviously, moving the people that come back from the blip. And obviously it goes all red. Oh, someone's going to attack us, yada yada. And obviously Sam opens that case up which Bucky gave him. And I remember when this first came out, I was there going, show me what's in the box! I was going crazy, like, turn the box around!
Wasn't it like a...
It was his wings and suit in the box.
Wasn't it like left as like a... splits like
yeah, he just opens it and looks there and he's like, yeah.
What's it called? Cliffhanger.
It was the cliffhanger was he opened the box and it just ends there. But obviously there's the little finally like WandaVision, there's an end credit scene with Walker making his own fake shield, which obviously is sort of way of bringing him back ready for next time. But I mean, just overall, I think this is another solid episode, and it's got obviously the character building to build up for this finale is really good, and obviously we left on a cliffhanger ready for next time. So being the penultimate episode, I think is the word I'm after. Is it penultimate word? Yeah, it's a very good way of building us up for what was technically the next week episode, but the now is that the one you can just click when it says play next. But I mean, it's good. I think obviously it's got a really good opening. I feel like for overall, I think the last episode is probably the better of the two. But I mean, this is another solid outing.
Yeah.
To build us up for episode 6. One world, 6.
Oh.
One world, one people. It's obviously the Flag Smashers quote.
Their motto.
Yeah. But see, this kicks off straight away with the lockdown initiative on that building. And they're all like, okay, something's happening. And then you see Sam sort of flying. You don't get the glimpse of him yet, but you just get a glimpse of him flying. You're like, okay, so he's got wings back now. Okay, this is good. And obviously, Sharon's back in the country. So you see, and she does the whole Winter Soldier technology when she takes the mask off, which is a little callback to when Black Widow did it in Winter Soldier. So it's a nice little callback. So he's setting up, obviously, her joining in this fight now. But obviously, the most impactful probably moment early on is when Sam throws that shield through the window, and you get the first glimpse of this new fucking amazing Captain America outfit for Sam. Because that fucking whoever's got the fucking doing the costume design, whoever's doing the budgeting for these costumes, needs a fucking pat on the back. Because my god, they're fucking nailing these costumes, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Because Wanda had a fucking beautiful costume. Cap's now got a fucking amazing costume. Even like some of the little set photos from like Miss Marvel and Hawkeye, they're all getting comic accurate, great looking costumes. So they really are translating these comic costumes perfectly onto screen and updating them more to make them look realistic and fucking badass.
Definitely.
Plus you got the little subtle joke again, haven't you, with the whole, who are you? I'm Captain America. I thought he was on the moon. It's a good way of calling back to that early on joke.
Mm.
And obviously, backdrops in this fight now, so that's even better. Because obviously, Captain America's first fight in Winter Soldier was backdrop.
Mm.
So it makes sense that this new Cap's first battle is backdrop.
Yeah.
They can't really find any Nazis for him to fight, so...
Exactly.
The French dude's the closest to get.
And I do love the fact that obviously everyone has a part in this fight. Because obviously this fight lasts for a while. And obviously Bucky and Sharon are obviously having their own aspects to deal with. They're dealing with the Flag Smash as well. Backdrop's being dealt with by Cap. Which is obviously, it's very satisfying to see them all doing... I was going to say Falcon. It's quite weird. It's good but weird to try to think of Falcon, not for go. Okay, it's Captain America now. Sorry, my mind's just racing back. We've spent too long with him as Falcon that my mind's just instantly clicking back to Falcon, even though my notes clearly say Cap.
At this point now, it's no longer Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Not till the end of the episode, actually.
Oh, we'll class it as
it is technically, but at the end of the episode, because at the moment the only credit reveal at the moment it's been the actual normal title. But
at this point, I'm classing it as Captain America.
Yeah, it is basically, yeah. But I mean, it's a good way to start off his reign is with backdrop. Plus, we can't complain about more backdrop. And that does talk about that Sharon straight up murdered the guy in that car. She straight up burnt that guy's face off.
That bit's like, what would you think? She's supposed to be a SHIELD agent, and you're supposed to be at the pinnacle of good. Why would you do such a thing?
I wonder why.
Wink, wink. Wow.
But I did like it, obviously, after he instantly fucks off backdrop Sam, doesn't he? He does obviously flying after the helicopter, and it's still showing that obviously because the fighting aspect on the ground he's more Captain America stuff, but he's still Falcon to his heart, so he still has the wing aspect. So obviously you still need these flying sequences, and obviously I like the bit when he saves that helicopter after the bad guy shoots it down, because they obviously saved the people in the building. This is the first time normal civilians have seen him as Captain America and seen him save people rather than go after the bad guys. So this is literally why he's Captain America, choose to save people rather than bad guys, like stopping them, which is something that Bucky does as well. Because obviously when he joins in the bike when he's fighting the Flag Smashers, they set fire to that vehicle, don't they? And he chooses to save the civilians rather than go after the bad guys. And obviously he gets that little acknowledgement. So when that guy comes out, he's like, thank you very much. And I was like, my boy Bucky finally getting some acknowledgement.
It's like the example of like, to be honest, either one of them could have been Cap.
Yeah, easily. I think I said to Alex, I think it's when you were talking to someone earlier.
Yeah.
I said that it makes sense why Sam was, because the fact that Bucky is still technically a murderer.
Yeah, and Bucky's also still he's dealing with all of his past. I think it's like Cap couldn't have been Cap if he had all this baggage. But I think he's like Bucky deals with this, and he's on the path
Yeah, to
like
salvation.
being a Cap like character, being
Yeah.
a redeemed character, whereas Sam is already at the point where he's ready to become
Exactly.
Cap, clearly.
Obviously, then I like as well when we get the super soldier fight when Walker turns back up, and he's obviously they're all scrapping and kicking the shit. And that bit when Buck gets his own superhero landing when he fucking gets flying off the building, he's like, poof. I was like, he's gonna do a superhero landing. Man, it's not good for the legs. But I think one of my favourite shots from this episode is got to be when Sam gets knocked into the water with all the pipes, and you see that blue light in the water flying. I was like,
that's cool.
So he can fly underwater now? Wow. That's cool.
Wakanda. We're prepared for anything.
It's the bit when he comes out the water as well, and he's like, that boy's earned an ass whooping now. Because at the end of the day, though he's obviously got this Captain America look, deep down he still has the Falcon charm. This sort of banter.
Sam. Like, it's not like he's going to instantly Steve.
It instantly just turns to the Steve when he puts the outfit on. Oh,
wow.
Captain America's that.
He turns around and goes, I definitely have. I do like the bit with Carly as well, and obviously it's proved in this one scene that there's no redemption arc for her when she throws the car off the building.
No.
It's proved that
she's just doing it to kill now.
Yeah, she can't be forgiven there. This didn't need to happen. But I do like the fact that they let John have his moment. They let him actually try and save this truck. Like he could literally go and take her down, but he chooses to save the truck because at the end of the day, again with him, deep down, he's still a soldier, so he's still trying to fight for good, even though he's lost his way as well. No, moment there's no
delusion for good now.
He still has that aspect of he's still who he is, but obviously he gets taken out by flag smashers, which I like when he gets taken out because he screams no when he lets go of the truck because he wanted to save him. Because obviously he threw his own shield away to fucking did the truck because he just dropped it on the floor because Bucky was like, whoa. But I like the aspects of him screaming as he was falling because he's like, no, I wanted to save him. But obviously he can't save him because our new Captain America has to save him.
Yeah.
That's true strength.
Or if you're that one old guy in the audience, that's the Black Falcon, Alice.
No, that's Captain America.
So doesn't Sam have like a new little robot now? Because he had Red Wing, and hasn't he got another one? I believe
he's got two. He had two, but I think they're still just Red Wing.
Okay.
I think they're literally just still Red Wing. They're just obviously new.
Red Wing and Blue Wing.
But
yeah, I like the audience and the civilians now acknowledging that this is our new Cap. So it's a nice little nod. And obviously then you get the full reveal of Sharon. She is officially Power Broker. As I said, though it hinted it last time, this is the first full-on reveal, which explains why she's there, because she wants to take out Carly for the fact that she stole from her. And then, throw back, drop into the mix, and he's like, I want 4 times the amount.
I do like blackmail. Bang.
I'm really hoping they haven't killed him. So I still want to see him in his leaping boots. I just want one moment of him going, a leap. Just one moment.
What if the shot that she caused, it didn't kill him, but it caused him brain damage, and that's why he becomes the crazy ass weird
from Ultimate Spider-Man. Yes. But I did like that whole reveal though. Though it's predictable. It's very predictable.
Yeah.
And I did like the fact on like WandaVision, obviously when fans predicted this early on, it actually came true. Nice little turn of pace because WandaVision everyone predicted stuff and it never came true. But everyone predicted this and it came true.
Yeah. But I do like how
what's going on with WandaVision though.
With like Sharon's reveal, that the whole point she wanted like the serum that obviously creates super soldiers, and that she basically pissed off that Carly stole from her. Think about it. In Agent Carter, the whole like storyline is that obviously one of the like storylines is that that Tony's dad, he obviously had a sample of Steve's blood, and at the end, Jarvis gives obviously Peggy the blood and she pours it away. She obviously doesn't want to create more super soldiers because to her only can be one Steve, whereas her niece, or great niece, is pretty much like, yeah, make loads, fuck it. He ditched me from my great aunt. I'm gonna go fucking make loads of super soldiers. We're gonna take over the world. Yay!
Basically. But I do like with Sam as well, because obviously he refused to fight Carly, and obviously it's Sharon who has to, shoot her to stop her. So I like the fact that he refuses to actually actually fight someone that he doesn't believe is a full-on villain, even though he kind of is now after what she's done. But
yeah,
I do like the fact he's going to take the bullet. I do like the fact he's going to take the bullet. He's like, okay, I'm sending you a message here. You shoot me. I'm okay with it. You do what you have to do.
Mm.
And then Sharon just goes bang bang. Because Sharon is a bad girl. Because
naughty girl.
She Pepperbrook and naughty.
Yeah.
Or is she? If you listen to some theories. But I like the whole argument with Sam when he's on the news and he's talking to the council. He's outside and he's having that massive argument about.
I thought that was a bit too political part.
It worked. The fact that he's like, they're like, oh, the terrorists. He's like, he's still calling them terrorists. At the end of the day, they were doing what they thought was right because you basically destroyed their lives.
No, that's what I was going to go with. I was going to say it's kind of political, but like at the same time, it does work.
Exactly.
You cut me off.
And
like I've been doing to everyone else today.
I do love the fact as well. He acknowledges the fact that some people out there, they will be against him having the shield. Obviously, thanks to Isaiah's word, and it obviously cuts to Isaiah watching it, and he's like really happy now that he's accepting this and he's obviously going along. But I just think overall it's a really good speech, and it just proves why Sam is the perfect replacement for Steve, because he thinks of everyone before himself.
Mm.
And it's just literally why Anthony Mackie is the perfect choice for Sam Wilson. He's just such a good actor, and this speech sort of proves it.
He really is, yeah.
It's the bit when he walks away as well, and Bucky's standing there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was texting, I wasn't paying attention. All I heard was Black Man in Stars and Stripes." It just still shows that little banter, and obviously Bucky straight up respects Sam. They've still got this little banter. You can't shake it. It's still there. It's a few little cheeky jabs. It's just I just look. I can't wait to see them back together again.
Hmm.
But
the fat bitch just got food.
Yep. She's chowing down on some food. So obviously after all this like speech and whatnot he gives, we see Zemo's butler just murdering all the flag smashers. Because he's not a sweet old man, he's a brutal murderer. But it's also a good way of like, having Zemo cameo in the finale, because the fact it like pans to him in his cell and he's like and obviously then we get the actual US agent reveal, which the suit looks really good again. The suit looks comic accurate. I just love the John Walker's reference, like, it's the same suit, just black. But I like the whole reference to it's based there hinting at the Thunderbolts are going to happen. Because obviously Madam Hydra, Baron Zemo is in the raft, and Walker's now US agent. So it's a good way of referencing that this is going to happen. But I do love with the Marvel show so far, they always have this one character go, you're this. Like, one division it was, you're the Scarlet Witch. And this one's like, oh, we don't need a Captain America. We need a US agent. They're like, there's like subtly jabbing the names out. Jab, 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 jab.
Jab, 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 jab.
But, I think the one moment that made me really happy in this episode was when Bucky finally comes clean to his friend and explains what happened. Because I could have just left it and he not said anything to him. But it's a nice way of wrapping up that story and having him cross out that name. Because though it's obviously he's causing him now to lose a friend, it was the right thing to do. He needs to do it. And
then the person he was going on a date with and his old friend,
banging,
getting drunk.
It made me happy to see Bucky. Though he was obviously upset, he was deep down he was happy for what he did. And obviously, we get another happy ending in form of Isaiah, and he's sort of now befriended Sam, and it's obviously his nephew's like, "Oh, are you doing Black Falcon?" And he's like, it's not Black Falcon anymore. No, I think he goes, that's not Falcon, that's Captain America.
Yeah.
And I like when he takes us to the museum though, and he shows him.
That's such a nice part.
Yeah, he shows him the statue, and he's there crying and everything. He's like, to see this like essentially this really angry man for the fact that how his country's treated him just because of his colour of his skin, though he was doing justice. It's so happy to see him now getting the acknowledgement of what he truly deserves. And I'm assuming this is probably going to be a good way of maybe putting his grandson on the correct course to becoming Patriot.
That'd be cool.
Because obviously he's Patriot in the comics, isn't he?
Yeah.
So obviously maybe this is like one of the factors that seeing his granddad finally get this acknowledgement and seeing obviously the new Captain America as a black man, you might go, you know what, I'm going to be a superhero as well.
Yeah.
Which then probably eventually leads to the Young Avengers at some point.
Yeah.
They are setting up.
They very much are setting up Young Avengers.
Yeah, they had some setup in WandaVision, some in like Endgame.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I do love as well the difference in tones in terms of endings for the two Marvel shows so far. So for WandaVision had this quite depressing ending for the fact that she lost the whole family and everything, and it was it. But this one's got more, hopey and more hope, because obviously Sam and Bucky are partying basically with Sam's family and obviously his friends, having this nice satisfying party. And I think it's like a very satisfying way to end this show and then build up to the fact the title then officially changes to, as you said earlier, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. It's a very satisfying...
The show, not a movie.
Yeah. It's a very nice, satisfying ending for a very satisfying show. And for that, I'm very much looking forward to them returning in Captain America 4, which obviously got officially announced after this ended.
Yeah.
It's very... maybe they might appear in something else before that, who knows? Because obviously Captain America 4 is not going to be for another few years, so who knows, they could appear in Secret Invasions or something.
You never know.
Who knows?
Okay.
Obviously, there's an end credit scene, isn't there, with Sharon basically getting pardoned, but she's just secretly going to use their weapons and shit. She's going to steal from the government, which maybe means she's going to be part of Armor Wars. Maybe she sells to the wrong people. But there's a theory that this might actually be Sharon. It could be a Skrull, and this could be a sort of way of setting up Secret Invasion.
It could be.
That's like a whole theory that people have had, which would be an interesting reason why she'd be bad.
Because she had all of her memories. She knows like how to act like Sharon.
Exactly.
But she has that evil side to her, maybe.
Exactly. But yeah, in conclusion, this show was very much a success, not just for me, just obviously for Marvel in general. Obviously, it was, as I say, back to basic approach, and it was very successful in that back to basic approach.
Yeah.
It does a good job of bringing back our two leading men from other films. Cause obviously, neither of them really led a film. They're always like the second protagonist. They weren't like a major member. They're more like a...
They're the bridesmaids, not the bride.
Yeah, basically. So it's a nice, good way of bringing them back to the front and showing like these two are like the future, essentially, of the MCU.
Yeah. Especially
Cap. Cinematography is really outstanding in this as well. From obviously, especially with the action sequences, they're really fucking good. And even the normal sort of shots, a lot of them look really good. Especially, as I said, the scene when they're in they're going to the bar, that looked really fucking beautiful and really well shot. The score in the background is quite got a thump to it, quite a badass thump to it.
Whenever a Wakandan character comes on,
yeah,
the guy goes to the drum beats.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a really good way of building up to Captain America 4 now. And it's really satisfying, because obviously they're constantly hinting that maybe there was going to be a series 2, but obviously they may do a series 2 eventually. But for now, we're going to get an actual movie. So that's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. But it's nice to actually see Sam, obviously, because in Winter Soldier, he was one of the standout coming into it. And obviously then he went into Ant-Man, which is a really good cameo. And he's had these moments where he's been like a good start, but he's never really got the full frontal look. So it's nice to see him finally headlining something. And obviously now you're going to headline a film, so that's really great. So in terms of ratings, I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10, I think. I personally think all episodes kept the same level consistently. Obviously, the later episodes did improve even more. But I feel like they kept that same level of, they weren't bad, they're actually very entertaining to watch.
I agree. I'd say 9 out of 10 as well. Because it's proper, like, Marvel, but it's the profession, the way the quality is so much movie-like. It's like watching a really long version of the Captain
Yeah,
America.
it's literally just a massive fuck-off movie.
Mm.
Well, every party needs a party pooper, and that party pooper is me. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Right, this coming from the guy that didn't know who Rhodey was.
Yeah,
Round up to a 9.
The magic of editing, it's now going to become a 9.
Rounding down to a 1 because of Hayden. Now, I think if I did watch all of the Captain America things,
It might go
I
up.
think I would have, yeah, it would have probably went up, as I would have known the characters a bit more.
Like Rhodey.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why. I forget names. I know faces. I remember names. Sorry. I forget faces, but I remember... No. Oh, my God. I remember faces. I forget the names. Like, I don't know any actor or anything.
Well, there's Chris. There's Tom.
Anyway. Anyway, Tom, do you have a question today, or do you...
I've got the overall first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because obviously Falcon and Soldier gets a Chatter Cave. Oh, sorry. Or is it... Because technically speaking online, it's still called Falcon and Winter Soldier, but, you know, for us, we're going to call it Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, just to give them honor.
Yeah. It gets a Chatter Cave overall rating of... It's 8.6, like, recurring, then it's like a 7 at the end, so is that an 8.7 then? Or
8.7, yeah.
8.7 then?
If it's 5 and above, it's higher. If it's 4 and below, it's the one below.
Do I have a question today? Are you looking forward to Loki?
Yep. Loki's going to be an interesting one, I think. It's another one that breaks the mold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to see Loki punch Owen Wilson in the face. Wow.
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 We actually forgot at the moment the MVP, because it's very rare we do TV shows, so I'm just going to do it in editing and hope they agree. So the Chatter Cave MVP award for the whole series is going to be Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, aka the new Captain America, just because he gave a very, very good performance and proved why he deserves the shield. And Chatter Cave runner-up is Baron Zemo, because he stole the show when he came into it and he was hilarious, and that dance scene is just amazing, so he gets the MVP runner-up. That's it for Chatter Cave Podcast, this bonus edition for this week. Join me and Hayden on Friday for the normal Chatter Cave Podcast, where we'll be discussing the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Out of the Shadows, as it is called. But me and Hayden are obviously considering doing more like this, because obviously me and Alex did WandaVision back in March, because obviously she wasn't present because she wasn't able to, but we're on about doing some more, because obviously we've got Loki's coming out, and that'll be finished by the end of July, I believe it is, so obviously we'll be able to cover that. But we're obviously on about doing some more TV shows in general as bonus ones, because we're talking about maybe doing The Witcher, because we both really like that and would like to talk about that, so that'd be something we may be looking into a bit more doing. So we'll see how that plans out, because there's a lot of TV shows that we could talk about. A lot that we like. And we could also do ones we dislike, just to slam the shit out of them. But we'll see. So yeah, this has been Chatter Cave Podcast